The last time I performed Hajj was 30 years ago, and now as if it's my first time. My feeling of happiness can't be described. God has chosen me among those limited number of
Ebrahim Moosa is a professor of Islamic thought and Muslim societies at the University of Notre Dame. He joins me from Notre Dame in Indiana. So, when you look at all of the restrictions that Saudi Arabia has imposed on the Hajj, limiting the number of people who can be in groups together in certain places, the number of people on buses, everybody has to be fully vaccinated. I mean, this is commendable, right, for them to have been so painstaking in orchestrating a safe Hajj.
Yes, I think this is extraordinary measures that have been taken, but I think the lesson is that safety and public health comes first. And I think Saudi Arabia, in implementing these measures, have set a certain standard that even in any kind of religious ritual, one must give priority to the lives of others and oneself, and in preventing to spread the virus. So I think this is a great model. Of course, the numbers are very few of people attending, but I think the model is the right one.
And when you look at the pictures, such a different look than a normal Hajj. It seems so strange. And I guess on the other side, somebody could argue, well, in other places, you see people attending concerts, much closer proximity than this because they're fully vaxxed. We've seen enormous sporting events around the world that people attend. So, someone could well ask, has Saudi Arabia gone too far for something that is a religious event that people don't have a lot of chances to attend?
Yeah, and the Hajj only happens once a year, and many people say to go for the Hajj for the once in a lifetime. I think this is a beginning, and I think they will possibly, as a result of this experiment, be able to make it possible that larger numbers of people who are fully vaccinated can come, as they've done in the past with smallpox and other kinds of diseases that were fatal and threatening to human beings. And yes, of course, the picture of people, attending concerts in larger numbers, but they are fully vaccinated, and here in smaller numbers. This might also be, a matter that Saudi Arabia will address. Remember, Saudi Arabia it's a huge loss for Saudi Arabia in terms of income. There are billions of dollars made from pilgrimage. So I think that they will think very seriously about new measures that need to be adopted.
Yeah, it doesn't seem quite fair, does it, that for an event like this, you just see this little smattering of people and they have to take such restrictions. However, remember, in 2020, there was also a Hajj with much reduced numbers, and you really didn't see an enormous spike in the numbers of COVID cases that were reported. So I think the WHO even commended Saudi Arabia last year for the measures that it took. This year, though, quite a different story with the Delta variant spreading. So could you say that the risk is much higher this year?
I think that is a concern, that the risk is higher, that the Delta variant is much more transmissible. But, they could have been bolder and possibly instead of 60,000, made it 160,000. That will also have given an experiment. So we're not always sure, what measures they use in terms of their decision making. But one thing that is very, very true and important to note is that this important, let's call it a spectacle, a religious obligation of people gathering to fulfill one of the pillars of Islam in such numbers, that at least that took place, that is very, very critical to the spirituality of millions of Muslims around the world.
Ebrahim, thank you so much, and a good holiday to you.